Assalamu alaikum friends. Supreme Court of Pakistan has decided that the election be held within 90 days in the two provinces of Pakistan, Punjab and KPK. Apparently, momentarily, it seemed that the confusion has been ended. But as a matter of fact, the confusion has now been created much more, and that there are several reasons. There are several reasons why it has introduced new complications in the scenario. Look, a census, digital census, has started, is being carried out for the past few weeks, and it will end on the 30th of April, means after the 90 days of that election period. Then there are certain other complications as well, like that if at all the elections in these two assemblies are held, then at the time of the next general elections, when the National Assembly seats elections will be held, now the two of these provinces will be having the permanent governments instead of that of the caretakers government in these two provinces. So now those two provincial governments will be muddling, not allowing the free and fair election, rather will try to influence, will try to somehow meddle into it, and will not allow the free and fair elections. So that is another big trouble. What will be done in these two provinces, whether the governments will be asked to stop functioning and a new cabinet of the caretakers will be introduced or what. So that's another trouble, and there are plenty of other complications as well, like the Ministry of Finance says that we don't have the money, and the money, as for the money trouble is concerned, the money will have to be spent twice instead of once. The money for the elections will be needed twice, and the Ministry of Finance says that we don't have the money to provide for the one election, not to talk of providing the money for the two elections. So not only that, if at all the army is being asked to provide the security, but the army says that we are unable to do that. And why are they unable to do that? Because one of the parties, the major party, the most popular politician now, and is seen blaming the army and for several wrongdoings, and they want to save their credibility now. They will be of the view that if at all wherever this one party loses the election, they will be blaming, they will be putting blame on the army, and the army will start defending itself. That is not what they want to do. That, and not only that, the government, the election commission has asked for the provincial high courts to provide the ROs for the election, and they too are hesitant to provide that. So there are plenty and complications. Not only that, rather, you see that president has said that rather the Supreme Court has said that since the Punjab governor didn't sign the dissolution of the assembly and paper, so for that reason the governor cannot do that. Rather, the president is the right person to somehow hold the elections in consultation with the election commission. But as far the KPK province is concerned, since the KPK province in the KPK province, the governor has signed the dissolution of assembly paper. So for that reason, it is the governor there in the KPK who will be holding the elections there, who will be somehow will be fixing the date in consultation with the election commission. So there are plenty and plenty of complications. I think if at all one complication has been eradicated, then several more has arisen, and it is maybe not possible for the Supreme Court to address each and everyone else. I think it should be left on the government, and the government obviously mean they do have to hold the elections. They do have to hold the elections probably in the October 2023. So this is the election year, and if at all the elections are held either in the April or in the October, I think it is okay. And as per my opinion is concerned, I'm a commoner. I'm a commoner and nothing beyond that at all. But see that holding of the elections twice, I think that is very difficult financially as well as in certain other ways, like that of the caretakers issue. There will be a caretaker government now, but at that time, when the National Assembly's election, when the general election will be will be going on in the country, and there will be the National Assembly seats, and that will be elections for these National Assembly seats will be going on at that time. I think there will be the permanent governments in the two provinces, and it is really complicated. How will they allow free and fair election? They will try to somehow make their own party win the election in those two provinces. So I am of the view that these elections should be held on one day because of the expenses and because to avoid certain and many other complications as well. So the right thing is not to hold the elections now, rather to hold the elections simultaneously in the whole of the country, in all the provinces, all the provincial assemblies, as well as the National Assembly. All of these elections should be held at the same time and not at the different times at all. So I am of the view that as far this decision of the government is decision of the Supreme Court is concerned, that is not going to help much the country. Rather, several more and new complications has arisen after this verdict of Supreme Court of Pakistan regarding the holding of elections.